Hello and welcome to our Revit tutorial. It's full course in Revit. In this video, we'll be looking at furnishing our floor plans, site plans, and preparing this work for presentation. So if you have not been following, you can check out our past videos to see what we've been doing. We'll model this building from scratch, and let's get into it. So I'll double click here to go to my ground floor. Somebody was asking me recently that if coincidentally they deleted their view project browser, how would they get it back? If you did this, you can click on view, go to user interface, and then go through to project browser and check it. Once you check it, it appears again. The same thing for your properties if it is missing. So this is how to quickly resolve that. So let's continue. So what I want to do is to import furniture and then populate my floor plan to make it look much more presentable and functional. There are 2 or 3 ways to do this. First, you can access an already saved library on your system. Secondly, you could download from the internet or you create your own. So I'll go to architecture. Under architecture, click on component. Once you click on component, go to the last item here. You'll see load family. Click on it. Now I already have a saved library on my system, so I'm just going to access it. This is my Revit library, Odopita. It has a lot of components. I'm going to leave a link to this library if you like to download it and make a small support to the channel while doing that. That would be great. So I'm going to go to furniture, click on it. I want to furnish the living room, so I'm focused on chair and that kind of stuff. So sofas, and if I zoom more into it, you can see all the sorts of sofas I have. This is a 3-seater sofa. I can actually click and load in all the sofas I want to use for the project. This is a single seater sofa. This is an L-shaped sofa. So I can go around because this library is very encompassing, so you can see how many things we have within the library. So it's not a bad thing to have at all. So I can go into the library, select these different chairs I need, and click on open. Once I do that, it loads the library into Revit. So most of the components are in older versions, so it upgrades the model before importing it into Revit. Okay, so once that is done, I can go ahead to place my chairs. Under properties, if you click here, you can see all the components you have loaded, the sofas. You select them based on size, and then you can place them. So for me, let me just, the shortcut for components is CM. If I type CM on my system, I can have some short form of it and then select what I want from there. So this is a corner sofa. Pressing spacebar will allow you to flip them. I can have a corner sofa here and maybe another corner sofa here. I can have a single seater. There is this website called Revit Import that sells very high quality components in Revit. So you might also want to check that out. So pressing the spacebar allows you to rotate, and if you keep your component close to an edge, pressing the spacebar can also allow you to rotate it at 45 degrees and 90 degrees respectively. So respectively. So I can just play around with this. So I've done this. I can look for a center table the same way. Click on component, click on load family if you already have a place for that. Under furniture, you can click on table. I have varying types of center table and coffee table, and I can just pick any one I want and then use it there. So I'm going to repeat this process over and over again for television, for every little component here. So another method of loading components into your file can be to know where you saved your Revit components. Like in this case, under my disk E, I have all my Revit components saved here. So I can come to this folder, search for what I want, and then just click and drag it into the Revit file. So let me leave this one here, and then my Revit file on one side. So I can search here for, let's say, TV or screen. So once I find a TV screen or a TV set with the components I want, I can click on it, drag it, no, cancel. Click and drag into the existing file I'm working on. It's going to load the file. I can ask it to override because I've done this before. It's going to load the file into this particular project. And then all I need to do is to go and place it maybe where I need it to be placed. So that's better. I can come here. Let's say I'm trying to load dining. Click on dining. It's going to load different dining sets. I'm going to look for the one I like. Click and drag into this place. So why is always updating it is because the furniture I have are in an older version. So the same thing with kitchen cabinets. If I type on kitchen, it's going to load out everything I have on kitchen. I even have some cabinets here already that can be adjusted if I click and drag it into this place. So this is a very much more easier way to load components into an existing file. And it's something that we can do instead of going through the hassle. So if you divide your screen this way, you can easily get your components loaded into your file. It's updating because the difference in the Revit years is there. So I can just click and you see this fits this wall with all the components. If I have another wall, maybe somewhere here, maybe I can edit that later on. I can easily place that. It's not going to fit here. So this is another one here. I can click, drag, and so this is a quick way of loading components instead of going through the hassle of scrolling, searching, opening folders. This solves all those issues. So for the chapel, the same thing. I can go look for pews if I have pews there. Okay, so I have pews for the chapel. I'll just select it, click, drag, and then place it within the chapel. So, and then once I've done this, maybe I need 2 or 3 rows, one here, one here, maybe something of this sort. I think this is okay. I can select all of them, use the array button under modify. Let me make this bigger. Use the array button. This is it here. AR is the shortcut. Click on it. So what array does is that it creates a group that you can copy multiple times. There are 2 types of array, linear and radial. I'll leave it at linear, and it's either move to second or move to last. I'll move to second. So what it does is once I move it here, it's going to create this array and ask me to edit this number. So if I put 5, for example, it's going to have 5 arrays. I can make it 4. And then once you move one array, the rest sizes in between them adjust because it's like a group. So I've quickly done this for my chapel. If I need an altar, I also Google it and see if I have any components to fit in an altar I don't have. So I can use a desk and then just place it there as an altar for this component. So this is actually how to apply components to your work. And I'm just giving you an easy way to do it. By placing a component, pressing space bar can rotate the components around. So this is for the wardrobe. If I select component, I already have some loaded beds. I downloaded these beds for free. They are very high quality beds from Revit import. So if you check their website, you can see these beds for free. So I can just click and place them there. The next thing is a desk or a table, something like this. I can select a component I've already imported. Type CS, Ctrl C to create similar, and then I can find ways to position my table around the room. I can have my table here. I can have this table here. So it's just left for everybody to choose and decide where and where they will place their components and make your room highly functional. The next thing is for wardrobes. So wardrobes, there are two ways to do this. You can actually just create some extrusion yourself to place wardrobe inside the room, or you can look for wardrobe from your library. But most times what I do is just to create an extrusion because I would like to be able to adjust the wardrobe very easily instead of to be tied to the sizes of the wardrobe editing it. But there is still an option. So most times I'll just go to component, click on model in place, select casework, and then use an extrusion. Set the height of the extrusion to, let's say, 2.4 or 3 meters, depending on how tall I want the wardrobe to be. And then I can just select this and maybe apply a material to it that gives it that wardrobe feel. So let's say look for a wood material and apply to it. So I wouldn't want to spend all the time in this tutorial applying materials or placing components. I think the message has been passed already, so we can go ahead to speed this up and go to the next step. Okay, so let's take, for example, I put in a component. I know it's a 3D component, but it's acting as if it's just lines. I can tell you how to solve this. You can select it, double click on that element and go into the edit phase. Under the edit phase, under the family mode, go to view, click on it, click on floor plans and go to the ground floor plan. You can see in this view, everything is in faded line apart from the external 4 lines you can see. So what happens here is that in the visibility graphics, most of these visibility settings turn them off for floor plan, as you can see here. So if you click on this visibility setting, select it, you can turn it on for plan. And if there are any other components you want to turn on for plan, or you can select it all, filter it out by lines and furniture, and then check their properties, or in this case, their visibility graphics. You can edit it and then check it, turn it on for plan from here. And then if you've done this, you load it back into the project, override the existing. So once you do that, you can see the tables are showing right now the way they are supposed to be. And then all your components are in 3D. So the same way we've been using to add furniture is the same way we're going to use to add toilet components and fittings. So I think that is very clear. I'll go ahead and add. For me, sometimes I might not always put the shower cubicle. If I have one that I can easily adjust, I can do that from components. But it also does not hurt to represent it with lines during your schematic design phase. When modeling or when doing the final models, you can decide to place the component. So even while modeling during your schematic design phase, you may not want to spend so much time just doing all the components if you don't want to. I'll select all instances visible in view. I think I dimensioned some spaces before. So as we can see, I've attached the furniture properly here. I'm doing that for the first floor plan, and then we'll move over to preparing our floor plans or site plans for presentation. Initially, I forgot to change the names in the first floor, so let me just be fast and do that. I think here I'll double click on this. This is the library. I'll type it quickly. There's something I'm noticing on my room tag. When I click my room tag, you notice that the room is a little bit far. This control point is far from it. Let me see if I can fix this. So I'm going to double click on my room tag to go to edit it. Now while editing it, under view, I'm going to go to visibility and graphics, go to annotation category, and click show annotation category in this view. And then I think basically that's all. Click on apply, yes, and click on OK. So what happens is this is the center point of this element, but you see they are not at the center point because some other element is there. So I can select this, either delete it or it's already hidden, but and then select this text and then bring them to the center, somewhere around the center of this point, and load them back into the project. So if you have your room tag having that issue, you can see that my room tag is very close to the movement position, which is better off than what it was before, especially when it's in a tight space like a toilet or something. It becomes difficult to move around. So this is like a gym, but it's an outdoor, gym equipment. This bedroom, I'll just name this bedroom as a bedroom so that when I'm applying tags by room name, it's easier for me. So it doesn't mean you can't name it bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. You can still do that. And there are also other ways to get through that. So there's a toilet. There's a balcony. There's a toilet. There's a utility room. So you can store like battery there. There's a balcony. You can spell the whole thing. There's a balcony too. Toilet. So in order to make your graphics beautiful when annotating spaces, avoid conflict with walls. So your text should not be conflicting with walls or other elements. There should be hierarchy in the visuals within your space. So when designing, the most visual thing should be the wall, followed by the text, dimensions, and furniture. So you don't want to have conflicts there. So I've been able to annotate these spaces properly. The good thing about using room tags to annotate your space is that once you do it once, you don't need to do it again in any view at all. You just need to call up your room tags. The same thing with keynote tags. So the good thing about tags is once you do it once, that's all. There is no repetitive work with keynote tags and tags. So here's a clue a trick I can give you. If you have a bedroom already furnished on the ground floor, you can go there, select the components, and just pick it up and paste it on the next floor. Some of them might come out, some of them might not, but nevertheless, I'm just going to try and see which ones carry up, and then from there I can just furnish the bedrooms. So I've selected it, Ctrl+C to copy to clipboard. Then you go to the next floor, first floor here, you can click on the tab here, and then click on paste, come down to align to current view, and click paste. And then it's going to paste those things we've copied down here. So I can now move my bed to the correct position, move all these things to where I want them to be. I think there is a cantilever happening at this point. And we'll have a bigger shower here. So I'm just going to adjust these lines, carry on with the same thing here. So these homes are slightly bigger than what we have on the ground floor. So this way to, if you have multiple floors, just copy furnishing from one floor to the other, and it saves time, it saves stress for the work. I think even on the ground floor, I have a room like this, yeah. So I'm just going to copy all this. Copy to clipboard by clicking this item to first floor, paste, align to current view, and paste all these elements in this room here. So the quality of your models while making your presentation floor plan will greatly enable you to, have have a good presentation floor plan. So whatever you can do to assist yourself in making your presentation plan come out very well, that you should do, so that so you can see I'm trying to get a 45-degree turn. So I'm just going to put it at the edge of elements, especially edge like this. This corner helps. So if you have a corner like that, then you can do that. CM is a shortcut for components, applying components. So once you type CM on your system, you can do that. And you can also search here. Like for now, I'm to search center table. So I'm just going to quickly search. So there is a search button here if you have loaded all the components to your Revit file, but there is no search button if you haven't loaded all those components to your Revit file. So I'm just editing this component. Like I said, I just prefer to create them myself. You can definitely use, if you don't use an extrusion, you can get the particular elements you want from there and then. So I finished placing the furniture around the room. We can see the beds and the rest. Now what I did is this. I chose the shaded view category. Now I like shaded view category because it's light on your screen, so you can walk easily on the ground floor and on the first floor. And also it allows you to have some, good reflection and lighting on components. So you can see this bed, you can see how nice it's looking. Although this bed is gotten from very quality Revit models. You can see this one also. So, and it's still light on the view itself. So that's what I prefer. Before we go into working on the site, we will I'll just give you some tips on how to create some good views for your floor plan. First of all is to use the override graphics in view to do that. So we can do that in two ways. You can select the wall. You can select the wall, right click, go to override graphics in view by category. This is one way. And then we can turn the wall to be the most prominent feature there. So under cut patterns, like we can see here, because the wall is cut, we have foreground and background material. We can adjust this field region. Maybe if you want it solid black, click on it, click apply, so that the wall will be the most pronounced elements there, and click OK. Now when this is done, there's something for me personally I don't like in Revit, is that the grid lines keep interrupting the walls. So we might take them off, maybe take them off from the middle by selecting the grid, going to edit type, and then setting the center segment as none. So when you do that, now the edge segment, this is the length at 25 mm. If I click on apply, what happens is we don't have any center grids. So this, for me, allows the wall to be the most pronounced element in the design, instead of the grids to be, interjecting through the walls. And another thing we might also do to add to this might be to turn on shadows if you want. I also like to avoid any conflict of this sort. And for me, this looks good. So on the first call, this looks good. You can do override graphics in view for other elements, but my window is already brown, so as you can see. And then my components already have some kind of shading and the rest. So because I used shaded view, and it gives me this kind of view. So on the first glance, this is what I just want to have. If I have this, you can also do that on the first floor if you wish. But also there are other things we can do on the ground floor and copy to the first floor. So let me just repeat myself again using another method. So you can do the method I used as one method. Another method you could use is if you go to View and under Visibility Graphics, click on it, and then you scroll down under Model Categories. You scroll down to Walls. So scroll down to Walls, select it, go to Cut under Patterns, click on Override. Then you set it to Solid Fill. Sorry, I pressed Cancel. And you set it to Solid Fill, click on OK, click on Apply, click on OK. That didn't work. Sorry, let me be sure. Cut Patterns, Wall, Solid Fill, color should be black. Okay. Apply. Oh, sorry, I was working on Windows, so you can see that this was on Windows. So I'll go here, click on Clear Overrides, select Walls, and then do it on Walls. So and click on OK. So that's another method to use. I was accidentally working on the Windows, so it didn't change. So, but the grids have already changed already, and the good thing is you can see that nothing is affecting nothing. The walls are coming up. Although I still feel in a way my furniture components are really popping out of the design. If I left everything at hidden line, the furniture wouldn't pop out that much, and but the floor plan will. So it depends on the style I want to use for my floor plan. If I wanted everything to pop out this much, if I wanted it to just be pure black and white in the presentation style, we could do whichever one. You can also set your furniture to halftone and control the amount of, if what you want to see first and what you want to make as impactful as possible in the view. That's up to you. In making our presentation floor plans, we can use the color field legend under Annotate. So you go to you click on Annotate, you go to color field legend. It comes out with this color scheme. You click on it. It will ask you which kind of color scheme you want to choose. So we choose rooms, and under rooms there are various types, but let's choose by room name since we have that. So what this does is that it randomly assigns colors to the different room names. So for me, I don't enjoy using very bright colors on the plan, so I like to keep it simple. To do that, I will edit this color legend. I'll select it, click on Edit Scheme here, and then just click on In Use here, and click by room name, and click by value. And it's going to just give you only the room name that is in use. Click on Apply, and everything is going to just be based on these soft colors that are here, majority of them being white already. So I might just change a few stuff just based on the names here. It's left for me, maybe toilet. If I want the toilets to have a different color or a different feel, I can apply that. Let's see, something like light blue. Just that feel there. But I always keep the colors very light so that they are not fighting with the black color. So I try as much as I can to keep it very light, and then everywhere that needs to be white can just be white without necessarily having too many conflicting colors already. So this is how to make your color feel. If there are other colors you just want to add, like let's say the bedrooms also have bedroom 1, 2, 3, that's this 3. So I can have the same color over and over again within this 3 spaces. So I can just, for me to use this color, I can click on Add, so the color is on that custom color. So once I click OK, as I go to the next bedroom, I just select it. As I go to the next bedroom, I just select it. So I know I'm using the same colors for the bedrooms. So this is a way to make your presentation floor plan pop. This can easily be deleted. Even if you delete it, once you click on the color field legend again, it appears by itself. So don't worry if, for example, you accidentally delete this. You can easily click it, place it back, and use it to adjust stuff. I just want to check something. If I can copy to clipboard, go to first floor, and paste from clipboard. Okay, so once I do that, I will have to edit this back to the schemes. Okay, I understand that. So necessarily, I don't think I need to do this because, okay, so I'll just do the same thing here. Adjust bedroom, give them one colors for the bedroom. Click OK. So the bedrooms all have one color. So this is how to set up our plans for presentation. I'm going to stop here. We're going to continue with working out our site plan, presentation, elevations, and the rest in the coming video. Thanks for watching. Catch you. Peace.